In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to add a drop-down menu with live text to your final project. So here I'm going to work actually on Kristen's file. Well, first let me show you what the drop-down menu that we're going to make, how it's going to look like. The drop-down menu will have multiple sections, and as you would see, it's you can custom, and it has icons, and you can change the titles and modify it however you wish. So what we're going to do, we're going to add this to Kristen's document. So this is the folder that we're going to be working with, and I've actually added it to one of his pages, so I'll demo it. Oops, that's not the right one. I think this is the right one. And of course there's things that we could do to further modify the layout, but for now our goal is to basically just insert this into the page. So I'm going to move that out. So this is Kristen's original file. So the first thing that I'm going to do, so I'll show you what his page actually looks like. This is his original home page. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll just rename this page and call it 2. Because this is the root folder for all the files and icons that we need in order for the drop-down menu to work. So then what you'd want to do is grab all this file, hold the Option key, and put them in the root folder. Again, it should not be in a subfolder. Once you do that, open up the index and open up Kristen's homepage in Dreamweaver, and also make sure that the folder is that you have managed the site and is pointing to the right place, and that's pointing to the right place. That's very important. This part is very, very important. Next thing we're going to do is, I'm going to reduce this so we can see it. Just make the page a little smaller as well. Next thing, we are going to go to the index page, and we are going to copy from this part to this part, right below the title tag. Copy it, come to index 2, go right below the title, and simply paste the code in and save the file. Now we're going back to our index, and I'm going to delete these buttons. These are image buttons, and they're simpler to make. However, they're much harder to change. Like if you had to add a page or do some modifications, you would have to go to Photoshop, and that would be very time consuming and something that you probably would not want to do. So now I have basically I'm just going to put like some letters so I kind of know what, where I want to paste the code. I'm going to go back to my index and then copy from div wrap all the way to the final div right below the body tag. Come back to index, go inside the header, and simply paste the information and save the page. Now we're going to preview the page and to see what it looks like for further modification. So my menus are in, the drop down's working. However, I am going to get rid of this tagline so that everything is being pushed up further, and also I'm going to modify the margins here. So what I'm going to do, if you click somewhere on the page, at the bottom you could see the path of wherever your file is and whatever you want to modify. So again, I want to modify this area. So once I click it, you'll see the path, and it shows me that this navigation is sitting inside a wrap container. So once I click on it, you'll see that there's a lot of padding, and automatically it also highlights it in my CSS design, and you'll see that it's 4M, which is a web-based measurement unit. 1M equals to 16 pixels. So if I just click here and I say, maybe make it 1M, you'll see that there's some, 1M. So if, it'll just change it. There we go. So it adds some space, but it's still, it's not as much of a space. Also, I'm going to click here, and once again, if I look in my code, guys, if I click on the string of my divs, it'll automatically select it in the code, and I can just simply delete that. I'm going to save this and preview this, and it's coming along nicely. Now, if we look at the code, I can highlight. If I want to change the titles, you simply highlight it and change it. But actually, let's just look at the code for a minute. So the drop-down menus, basically, when the navigation layout is as follows. The UL stands for list, unordered list. So that's the main nav, and these other, the LI is basically what the actual buttons are. So for example, this is my main navigation, the foremost level. Then right inside of those, you'll see that right inside, I think it's the about page, we'll have yet another unordered list, and this is identified as the drop downs. So if I want to change the name, about company history, let's say I want to say history, and if I save it, and if I say meet the team, I'm just going to say meet us, for example. Consistency. So you can basically, this is where you can actually very easily change the names of your pages and the titles of your pages. So I just changed it in the about section, and you see that it automatically updated. You can also change, I think the about, I used all caps. Make sure you don't do that. So as you see, it's very, very easy to add pages or delete pages. If I don't want a submenu here, if I simply, let's say if I delete, I'll just say both. You'll just delete both of the ULs. And if I save, come back here, you'll see that now my about does not have a drop-down menu. So it's very, very easy to add or delete pages. And let's go back to the split. And if you want to modify anything, basically all you need to do is to highlight your option, and then you'll see on the right hand side, it'll basically gives you like all the options that you'll need to modify the navigation. So this is how you'll add a drop-down menu to your web pages.